How's it going, guys? This is the Abnormal Truth. Thank you for joining in as always. Today, I want to ask you if you remember that time when the Soviet Union landed a probe on Venus, on the surface of Venus, and took pictures. So, this video is kin to the video I did on the new animals. Should we consider these new animals as Mandela effects? But I ran across this today or yesterday, and evidently I didn't know that the Soviet Union put some probes on the surface of Venus, and they actually put 10 probes. 10 of them actually successfully landed on the surface of Mars and transmitted data. And it's called the Venera series of probes. And so what I want to say is, and I almost caught myself questioning this. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, because I thought, being a moderate space buff, I would have heard about this before. And also, there were a few strange things, and I'll try to show some pictures here of the pictures that were taken from the surface of Venus. But basically, there was an anomalous object in front, and I'll try to have that picture up right now, and that some of the scientists were questioning. And then I read briefly and vaguely somewhere that something was supposedly moving under the surface, and there was some talk about life on Venus. And so, but scientifically, it's supposed to be impossible. And to me, I wasn't aware that we landed on the surface. I knew that we had orbited Venus, but I just wasn't aware that they actually put something on Venus. And I had to look it up. Basically, it is possible to have some metals on Venus that wouldn't instantly corrode, so it was a possible thing. They did it. But to me, it's the same thing as the new animals aspect. And here's the point I want to make, really, what I want to say. To me, the Mandela effect is a specific phenomena, okay? You have a lot of people, or a few people throughout history, having stories like this. And this is another example, besides things that we've never heard of being Mandela effects, that I feel are being lumped into the Mandela effect sometimes. So sometimes you get a story that goes vaguely something like this. They were walking down the street in a town, and all of a sudden the subject in question seems to have gone back in time. So for varying amounts of time, these people would be stuck like 20 or 30 years in the past. That part varies. But usually didn't last too long. Usually they would say like 5 or 10 minutes. Everybody's wearing outdated clothing from way back. Stores look different. Everything's different in that regard. And then somehow they just kind of weave back into their correct timeline. That is not a Mandela effect. That is a time slip. That is already a phenomena that has been named. And do you see how that is different from a Mandela effect? A Mandela effect is when you remember something, a person, place, maybe an event, maybe a logo, maybe a line from a movie. But you remember these kind of things, and you go back and look them up, and it's just no longer, it had never been that way. And one reason why you can say this is not just false memories is because we're having specific memories about things. memory is fallible, and and some Mandela effects are because of memory. Some Mandela effects out there are not really Mandela effects because of certain confusing series of events that make them seem like Mandela effects. And then if you really look into them, you can see how it was misconstrued. But anyway, those kind of things I see being lumped in. It's almost like anytime anything has to do with time travel, oh, it's a Mandela effect. And I just wanted to put my opinion out there, and it's just my humble opinion, trust me. But I do feel strongly about it. But it just doesn't seem like you should lump everything like that into the Mandela effect to me. And just my opinion, guys, I'm putting that disclaimer out there, that it's like, to me, those people don't really understand the Mandela effect yet, because it's a specific phenomena. And so I just wanted to kind of put that out there of what I think, in my opinion, constitutes a Mandela effect and what is not. And some of them are other phenomena altogether. And so I just wanted to put that out there because that's the way I see it. In the same way, you would not put, and let's leave the animals out of it. Let's leave time slips and Mandela effects. Let's talk about that. You wouldn't want to group those together in the same way you would not want to group ghosts and the Loch Ness Monster together. Cryptozoology. You know, they're just not the same phenomena. That's just the way I see it. And I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. And you can thumbs up if you remember these Venera probes, and thumbs down if you never remember hearing about the probe landings. But I'm telling you guys, you really can't call this a Mandela effect. And I was thinking the same thing, you know, I would have heard about this. And also there's an anomalous object right in front of the probe there. And so even more so, you would think that I would have heard about this after decades of studying about UFOs and anomalies on the moon and this kind of thing. But still, I just can't, that's just not a Mandela effect because I don't remember something. It just, that's not a good, that's bad research when you do that, in my opinion. And, I realize that there's a lot of people out there that just have a grander, more broad term of the Mandela effect than I do. But I don't really think that's the way to go about it. So I'd like to hear your comments, either pro or con, whether you agree with me, whether you don't. And that's fine, but if you comment and you have an opposing view, if you comment on my video, I feel strongly about it, I probably will argue a little bit with you. I'd like to say that I'm more having a discussion with you, because most of the time arguing about these kind of things are just never fruitful, you know. I try to just state my opinion, and if I seem strong-headed about it, I'm just passionate about the way I'm looking at this. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, I will see you soon with another video.